Hey everybody, I'm Christy Jordan with southernplay.com, and today I'm going to look at my book for the first time. I'm going to open it with y'all. Now I know a lot of y'all, it's my new book called Come Home to Supper. A lot of y'all think, well, I've already seen the book because we had it on QVC. They were actually being printed when we were on QVC. So this is what you saw on live TV, and this is what was inside it. So I've seen the cover of my book, but not the book itself. Now, this is the package they sent to me. It was dated September 23rd, and it arrived here on September 24th or 25th. This is October 8th. I haven't opened it. I have waited 2 weeks to open this package. Why? Because I had this great idea. I wanted to open it on camera with y'all and see it with y'all, and then I wanted to offer it as an online raffle and have people buy raffle tickets and all the money go to our local food bank. But I have not been able to figure out a way to do that because online raffles are illegal and I don't do illegal things. My other option was to offer it for auction on eBay, the first book, but then you're only going to get whatever the highest bid is versus a raffle. You could raise a lot of money, and yeah, I could have the raffle locally, but most of y'all don't live in Huntsville, Alabama, so that's not going to do a lot of good either. So I've gone around and around for 2 weeks trying to figure out a way that I can raise money with this first copy of my book, and I haven't really been able to do it. So I decided this morning, I've just been praying and praying. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to open it, and I'll just keep the first book. Maybe I'll come up with a way to do something with it later. I don't know. Anyway, if y'all come to my book signing October 22nd in Huntsville, Alabama at the Barnes & Noble on Jones Valley, that is going to be a fundraiser for Manna House. We're going to be, you do not have to bring anything, you do not have to donate anything, and you can bring outside books. But any books purchased that night, a portion of the proceeds will go to Manna House, which is a local food bank here that does a lot of good for people. We'll also be accepting donations, and we'll be having a canned food drive. So feel free to bring canned goods. Oh, look, Teaspoon wants to see me open my book too. Okay, so I've gone on for 2 minutes. It's time to open the book. My first time seeing my new book, Come Home to Supper, which is out in 14 days. Oh, it's hard to open. Okay. There's the book. Okay, there's a note from my editor. Christy, congratulations. The book looks beautiful, the recipes look fantastic, and the compliments have already started pouring in. Thanks for being wonderful, inspiring, sweet, and fun. Enjoy, love, Kylie. That's my new editor. Okay. I have my glasses on today, so I'm hoping I won't squint at y'all. This is it. Come Home to Supper. Over 200 casseroles, skillets, sides, and desserts, too. Okay. First, I'm always thrilled. It's exciting to see your name on a book, but when you have a name that can be spelled over 20 different ways, you can't help but think, oh, they spelled my name right. Which I don't mind. Most people don't spell my name right, and I don't mind one bit. I'm just proud that people even know my name. Actually, a lot of people don't even call me Christy. I must look like a Cindy because I've been called that all my life, and I answer that too. And in that case, I'm just proud people are talking to me. Okay, I have to look. See, you're looking through with me for the first time. There's a lot of little tips for cooking and stuff throughout this book. Then there's a lot of encouraging boxes. A lot of people, you know, I do my best to. Oh, here's Sunday dinner menus and daily menus, so you don't even have to plan. I try to encourage people every day in what I write on Facebook and stuff because if you're going to have a voice and people are going to listen to it, you need to be putting something good into their lives and encouraging and helping them rather than discouraging them. And I feel like when I talk to somebody, I'm putting something into their lives. And that's the case for any of us. And so I want it to be something good. Wow, I did a lot of writing with this. So I have a lot of those encouraging things that I write on Facebook and stuff. There are so many boxes in here just to... by box, I mean like a little, word box to encourage you to help, kind of lift your chin up and, just help you realize the true joy and wealth in your lives. There's me and Mama. That's a story that's just what you're supposed to do. You'll have to read that one. The Way to Begin a Meal. I talk about, how we could, begin a meal by being grateful, being thankful, and what that instills in your children. There's all kinds of stuff. So this book, what I set out to do, I'll have to look at this later with Mama. I'm going to see Mama later today. I poured my heart and soul into this book. I set out, we all struggle with, we know we need to sit down at supper with our family every night. We know how important that is. We know all the benefits of that, mostly emotionally, financially. There's a lot, there's just so many reasons. I talk about a lot of those in this book. But everybody's telling you to sit down with your family, and they're not telling you how. And we're running around, and people, we have all these different schedules and stuff. And it's hard to come home at the end of the day. You're tired. You don't have a lot of money to spend on groceries. And you want to put supper on the table. And this is the tool. This book is the tool to make that happen. And to explain to you why it needs to happen. But to also make it easy for you. I polled people on Facebook. And I found out that y'all use chicken in your meals more than any other. Chicken first, beef second, pork third. So I based this book on that. There are a ton of chicken recipes, a ton of beef recipes. I tried to make sure there was a recipe for every cut of meat that I've ever used. There's a recipe for it in this book. So you can go to the fridge and see what you have and see what you have in your pantry and come up with something that you can cook for supper using this book. That was my goal. There's even a couple of recipes in here for when your cupboards get so bare that all you have are weenies. I mean, that's how attentive I was to that. It's very budget-friendly food. There's a huge sides chapter. There is a huge, there's huge chicken, beef, pork. There's even a seafood chapter, which I know is surprising for y'all from me, if you stuck with me very long, because I don't eat seafood. But I got my friends and family's favorite easy seafood recipes, and I put in here. There's a big breads chapter. And you know what? A lot of people told me in my first cookbook that they didn't like using, a lot of people throw around the word processed like it's a 4-letter word nowadays. I understand if you have a problem with that. So, whereas I have no problem opening a can of cream of chicken soup and throwing it in a skillet meal or a casserole, if you do have a problem with that, I have a chapter in here called the pantry chapter, and there's recipes for making your own cream of chicken soup, for making your own cream mushroom soup, for making your own pizza sauce. I have the recipes from scratch in here. So you have options. This book, you can use convenience foods or you can use from scratch ingredients, and I have those options in here. And there are there's also options for if you want to lighten up meals, if you want to make them like your grandma made them. There's tons of vegetable sides in here. All kinds of things in here for that. There's a smaller dessert chapter because I realize we don't eat dessert every night. My family, we may have dessert once or twice a week. But then there's a lot of, this is something I speak on a lot when I do speaking engagements to parents or PTAs. The 5 people every kid needs in their lives. And that's a long column in there. That's actually me and Mom. That's me when I was a baby. I told people, I said, there's a photo. She had just got me out of the bathtub. So there's a photo of me topless in this cookbook. So anyway, there you go. But there's all kinds of bread recipes. And there's even there's some of my recipes that use bacon mix. But I have a recipe in here for a homemade bacon mix that is actually a much healthier version. It uses oats in it. It's a homemade hearty oat baking mix. So there's just all kinds of, I have poured my heart and soul into this. This book will be your supper solution, but it's also going to encourage you. I pass on a lot of the wisdom on how I've learned to live my life. A lot of the wisdom in here, that I was very blessed with a lot of wonderful grandparents and things. So you'll find a lot of that in there, things that I've learned along the road. There's a lot of inspirational quotes, motivational quotes, little boxes. And the thing I love about this, it is a paperback, which makes this book, right now, there's a lot of places online. Like if you go to Amazon.com, you can get this book for around $10. So it's affordable. That's one of the things that, my first book I love. That's kind of like my Bible. If I'm on a deserted island and I need Southern food like I grew up with, I've got that first book. This is the book that I'm going to dog ear and use over and over and over. I'm a very unorganized person, so it helps for me to be a cookbook author because I have all my recipes in one place. Otherwise, I would never do that. But this is your go-to supper book. If I only had one cookbook for the rest of my life to cook supper out of, it would be this one and it would be fine. And I can have everything I want. I even came up with recipes like our favorite takeout food. There's recipes in here to make it from scratch. Easier, cheaper, better quantity, and then you know what's in it too. So anyway, this book is my heart and soul. I gave everything I have in this book. And I hope that you'll really enjoy it. Here we go. Ha. Are you who you want to be? That's another little encouragement. Are you who you want to be? I'm not talking about your job or your house, your salary or your college degree. Are you the person you want to be? Sometimes we get altered, mowed down by life and circumstances. It's human nature to let this change us. We can become bitter, tired, and lose that eagerness we once possessed. Sometimes complaining rather than doing naturally comes next in the process. It happens to all of us. But is that where you want to live? Then don't. The first step is that simple. Because as it turns out, I checked the casting sheet of this production of life, and that person you want to be is exactly who we've been waiting for. So this is your day. Step back into those shoes. Put a smile on. Roll away the stone. Lights, camera, action. So I have a lot of little things like that just to kind of encourage you. Stories of my grandmother, my mother, just stories about being a parent. I think you'll enjoy it. Then there's also, there's oh my gosh, I'm looking at all these. I have a lot of really encouraging things written in here. I hope you'll find it an encouragement. But there's also a lot of tips on the right dishes, how to use a slow cooker to make your life easier. There's just, tons of things. How to pick out groceries in the supermarket, how to plan your meals. I'm telling you, honestly, I put everything I have into this book. But I know that $10 is not easy to come by. The cover price is actually $16.95. So you can get it anywhere from $10 to $17, depending on where you buy it from. And I know that isn't easy to come by. So I made sure to make this book a value. I understand that money is scarce, and you're going to get your money's worth out of this book. And it's just my heart in book form for you. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you get it, and I hope you take it to heart. And, I prayed for this book the entire time I was writing. Just, God, let it encourage whoever gets it. Let it encourage them. Let it help them. And I'm still praying over this book, and I'm praying over every home it goes into. I just wish the best for it, for you. I want your family to be encouraged. Whether you get my book or not, I want your family to be encouraged. And just know that I love you, and a lot of people love you. And you know what? I checked the casting sheet, and you're exactly who we need in this world. So get out there and shine, and bring your family home to supper at night. I love you. Bye-bye.